All right, folks, it's the guy with the bow tie coming to you live for another Business with Benefits. We got Mr. Rhino Richards over there to my right. I thought it was appropriate that we're gonna be talking about DM, so I had to play this song for everybody just for a quick second. Everybody knows this one. It goes down in the DM. It goes down in the DM. Okay.
It goes down. All right. I'm feeling special, bro. Okay.
Yeah, you got the music. My first guest to have music.
I got my own music. Love it. It's like the Tonight Show and then Daryl Perry show, man. I almost made it.
Hardly. But tell the people where you are right now, because they're looking at a different background for you. And they're used to I'm a businessman background.
Yes. Well, brother, I'm worldwide. So you never know where you're gonna catch me at. Right now, you're catching me at a Starbucks in Duluth, Georgia. As I've had like 5-6 meetings today.
Yeah.
And I couldn't get back to the home studio soon enough.
Yep. I'm tagging stuff listening to you. You know how this live thing goes. Okay, so folks, today, Ronell, I want you to kind of give a background for people that for some reason don't know who you are. I know personally, before you and I met at LinkedIn Meetup ATL, I kind of watched you from afar, commented here and there, talked about stuff. And thanks to Suzanne Spainer, we got to meet in person after trying multiple times. We couldn't coordinate schedules, so that was the event that made it happen.
Yes.
So kind of expand more on your creation story. I call it recently, but kind of expand on your journey in sales so people kind of know why they should listen to you.
Yeah. So first of all, let's make sure it's my sound's good, right? On your side?
Yep.
Fantastic. All right. Why you guys should listen to me is because I'm the sales chump, man. I take chumps and make you champs, baby. So yeah, I've been in the sales game for 24 long years, my friend. I've been creating my own companies, building sales teams, had a lot of success, but more importantly, had a lot of failures because that's really where we have our learning opportunities. And so entrepreneurship is my game. I have been an entrepreneur for, it'll be 2 decades here before too long. And so, what I really focus on and my passion, my joy, my love is helping startup entrepreneurs grow their businesses and helping salespeople to do better, be better. Matter of fact, my homie Keenan, I've seen him start wearing shirts now to say "do better," which shout out to Keenan. But he can't own that because I've been saying that for a long ass time too.
I tagged him on it, so maybe he'll jump on here and give you some crap about it.
But yeah, we want to help people do better. So really, again, my journey has been a fun one. It's been a long one. Learned a lot, and I get the joy of helping teach people. Basically share my experience and the things that have contributed to my success, but equally as important, the things that have been stumbling blocks for me. So I help people to overcome those things so they don't have to go through what I went through. Okay.
Perfect. Well, so you mentioned, 25 years, so you must have started selling when you were 2 or something, because that age doesn't seem to make sense with the face.
You are so generous, my friend. It's actually 6.
6, okay. And that's awesome to see. So you've been pre-social media. So the initial point of this live was kind of talking about DMs and sales and all that, but you're pre-DM. So what's something you see that hasn't changed going pre-DM to DM now?
I'm so glad that you asked that question. And let me give a shout out to John and Portia Scott, who I sat down with earlier today.
Okay.
We had a really great conversation about this, in fact. And here's what hasn't changed. Relationships and value, Daryl. That has not changed. Technology changes. The way that we communicate changes. But creating strong relationships and relational bonds and bringing value to those relationships has not changed. I am a huge fan of technology. I try to adopt every single new technology that's out there that makes sense.
Okay.
But I don't use that in place of old school philosophies in terms of how we build connection, how we build relationship. I use it as a tool to help me to build stronger relationships. So, so yes, my experience predates social selling, but the things that I did to be successful in 2002 are the same as they are here in 2020. It's just the way that I connect with people. I start my initial outreach is different. Now we do this, right? But at the end of the day, Daryl, I'm going to go shake hands with the people that I do this with. Except, and right now I'm going to be elbow bumping because that's what we're doing. Thank you, Corona. But nonetheless, I'm going to use this and use the tech, use those tools to really create real relationships, right? And then bring value to those relationships. Bring value. You got to be bringing value. That has never changed. That was the same 100 years ago as it is today, and it will be the same 100 years from now.
I think it's important to understand that because I think social selling got to be a big buzzword and people kind of forgot the core word of that is selling. Because I've been probably selling not as long as you have, but maybe about 18 years or so. And I had to learn that quickly. I started B2C. So your start was B2C also, wasn't it? In the retail and like
it was. Yeah.
So the difference in B2C and B2B, I mean, both of us have been through that. So kind of explain your vision of B2C's value versus B2B's value.
Well, I would tell you, for me, I feel like it was an advantage that helped me tremendously in the B2B world. What I see, going across the country, training sellers, hiring a lot of sellers that I've hired over the years, a lot of corporate sellers lack the ability to create relationships. They don't get that. They're really focused on their widget. They're focused on features and benefits, but they don't understand that if I'm going to be successful, I need to know what matters to you. I got to be able to connect with you on a level where I understand what's really important to you, what matters in your world, and that goes beyond just the features and benefits of my product, right? Does that make sense?
Yeah, definitely. I'm checking the comments as you talk.
Comments. Hold on. Checking the comments. Check in. I need some check-ins.
Yeah, so Chris Stone said, "Hey guys, elbow bump instead of a handshake." So give him an elbow bump back. And I'll letting everybody know. Sorry about the tech delay. So StreamYard, for those that haven't used this, sometimes there's a sound delay, so we had to figure that out for the first few minutes. But we got it working now. We actually had a question from Eva. She asked, how do you pitch better in the DM, especially when you need to follow up? It was kind of shortening her question, but that was the premise of how do we pitch better in the DM and how do we follow up when they haven't said anything to know when they need something?
Yeah. So for Eva, thank you for your question. First and foremost, like Daryl, you and I had a discussion about this a little bit offline prior to this. I love pitches. If y'all are out there and you want to pitch right now, pitch the hell out of me. Send me a pitch. I love it. I will never talk bad about anyone that's pitching over DM or any other medium because you are trying. You're trying to go get business. Now, where I take issue is when your pitches suck.
Right.
Okay.
Definitely.
That's where I take issue. We can do better. Understand that if you want to make a sale, it has to start with, again, creating some sort of relational bond and understanding what matters to me. You cannot do that if you have never really spoken to me, if we haven't had a dialogue. So most of you guys are going in super hard on your pitch, and I would recommend a somewhat of a softer approach, a relationship style approach. Like, the beauty of all this information that we have is that you have all the information. Like, bro, if you look at me, I did a video 2 weeks ago, 2 or 3 weeks ago. Guys, go ahead, look at #SalesChump. There is a video from, I think, 2 or 3 weeks ago where I told you exactly how to do this, exactly how to do it. But what we want to do is, first of all, use the information that you have. For those of you guys that are that are complex sellers, meaning that you're selling a complex product that isn't a transactional product. Okay, transactional product meaning, hey, we're going to make a quick transaction. Most of you guys that are watching this are probably in a sales cycle where, hey, I got to do a discovery phase, I got to do a proposal, and then I close. Well, you're skipping a very important step on this pitching aspect where you need to go ahead and establish a relationship first before you go into all of that. So use the data that you have. When you're looking at somebody on LinkedIn, look at their stuff. How about that? Look at their profile. Look at their post. What the hell are they talking about? What are they doing? And say, hey, look, Daryl, I see that you're into this. I'm into this too. Hey, love to have a conversation. Can we have a conversation and just talk about what it is that you do? Talk about what it is I do. Let's start coming in. Don't go so hard on the pitch. Now, the hard pitch is not a bad idea if you're a transactional seller. If I'm a widget seller and it's all about your value prop is price, well, then it's just a numbers game. So if it's just a numbers game, what you need to do is stop BSing and pussyfooting around it and just be very specific. Hey, this is who I am. This is what I do. This is the value I bring to you. That's it. Okay.
I think people mix that up too with transactional versus complex. They think some people that have complex sales think they're transactional, and I think that might come from a place of need. Like I need to get this deal, so it's a transaction to me. So what's the easiest, least path of resistance? And that's where I have issue when it's like a consulting guy or something like that. You can't do a consulting sale in a hard pitch. That's not really going to work. But the sidebar real quick to catch you checking in, we had Belinda Jackson said first sales job equals reselling of golf balls to golfers at a country club every morning in the summer.
That's what's up.
That's a good first job. Reselling their golf balls back to them.
Belinda, how much you make off of that? I want to know, Belinda. Let us know how much money you made off of that.
Belinda, we must start a new business right now, going out to country clubs and reselling golf balls. Why not? So you and I've screenshotted you different like pictures I get, and the one that drives me crazy on LinkedIn right now is we just connected. Here's 10 paragraphs. Here's a link. Download the attachment. Let's do it. How do you feel about those pictures? Because I mean, some of them I get aren't transactional. They're like a consulting thing or a social media web designer or whatever. How do you feel about that in today's day and age?
So I did a video about that too. And that was maybe a month or two ago. So how do I feel about that? I am challenging everyone watching this right now. If that works for you, please let me know. Show me some data. Show me that it works. I want y'all to reach out to me right now and prove me wrong. That crap does not work. It doesn't work. Go back to what I originally said. Okay. Who am I? I break pitches down. And there are a little bit of background. I've been building pitches damn near my whole career. Okay. One of my companies is a contact center company. And so with that company, I built probably 100 different scripts. That initial pitch is all about, again, who am I, right? Hey, I'm Ronell. Okay. What do I do? And then what's in it for you? Here, Daryl, this is my benefit statement to you. This is what I do for you. Simple. If you're going to pitch that way, where you're going to pitch right off the bat, which, guys, again, I have no problem with that. I don't. Just do it right. And that's how you do it right. You keep it simple, because I'm not going to read your 6 paragraphs. It's not going to do it. I'm not going to click on your link. I'm not going to look at your PDF. I'm not going to do any of that. But if you've articulated succinctly something that could potentially bring value to me, then you're going to get a response from me. But understand that pitch is that's a transactional pitch. And there's nothing wrong with that. Trust me, there's a numbers game. Again, I tell you, a lot of my background in the contact center world and building scripts is a numbers game. So if that's the sort of pitch that you're going to run with, no problems with that. Just understand it is a numbers game, and you must stay committed. You must stay committed to the numbers. So what I see where sellers miss the boat on this prospecting piece is they'll do a pitch like that, and they'll get they'll send in 20 people, 25 people, and I didn't get any results, or this person said don't don't DM me anymore. This person was guys, get over it. Like
Yep.
it's a numbers game. Understand that. And you will not have numbers that you can really determine whether you're successful with that approach or not until you've done it a couple hundred times. You've
Yep.
done it a couple hundred times. You'll have enough feedback. You'll have enough data to evolve your campaign and to evolve your pitch.
Mm-hmm. And that's where I actually reply back when I get bad ones. I'll actually challenge them and say, hey, how often does this work? And I actually had somebody want to argue with me saying, well, I've been doing this for years and it's worked. And I said, well, maybe on Instagram or Facebook, but for what you're doing, I would suggest kind of changing it. And then their response was, well, that's a lot of long talking. I don't want to waste time. And some people feel that way about DM sales. They're like, oh, it's wasting time asking about what college they went to or talking about, work. But I can mention a client of mine I got actually by doing that. I'm not talking about business at all the first probably 5 messages. Just to kind of know who you are, because I know I look at it like dating. I look at DM sales like dating. If I just come pitch you off the rip, there you go. If I pitch you about let's get married, the first message I send you, probably not going to go too far. So you had to learn how to do DMs off the rip, or did you kind of know from the beginning how to do it?
Did I have to learn how to do it?
Yeah, was it like a uphill battle for you? You kind of came in knowing this is how I do it?
No, because again, I apply a lot of the success that I've had on this platform, and understand this, guys, my success is the stuff that you do not see. Okay. Right now, a lot of you guys are looking at people and you're looking, oh man, they got, 100,000 followers. They got 50,000 followers. And you're looking at that as success. That's not success. What success is conversion. Are we converting any people into clients and converting people into customers? So like, I did not need to refine my DM strategy so much, because what I've done is I've applied fundamental sales strategies. This is just a different medium. It's the same stuff. It's a different medium, right? So what you guys need to be thinking about as you're prospecting, as you're trying to generate business, as you're trying to grow your network, is whatever you're doing, is it building relationships? Is it building a relational bridge, right? So a lot of my strategy around direct outreach and prospecting on this platform is the same as with anything. Like everything that I do is more focused on making a relationship connection, which I can translate into business. Some of that business is direct, but a lot of it is indirect, right? Like some of the people, so every connection I view as super important and impactful. A lot of people don't. Every connection matters. Why? Daryl, how many connections do you have?
21,000.
21,000. So when I connected Daryl, I got access to 21,000 just first level people. I'm not even talking about the second level, third level. 21,000, right? And so if we take each one of these connections and look at them differently, whether it's direct outreach and pitching or just how we connect to people in general, and we really focus on what our activities being relationship building instead of widget selling, you'll be much more successful. So when I connected Daryl may be a good prospect for me, but I don't want to go, Daryl, can you buy my widget? No, Daryl, let's have a conversation. Daryl, this is what I'm into. I see that you're into this. And this is another thing that I see that where sellers don't get it. Sellers are too focused on again, selling their widget and not paying attention to all this great data. Like you said, my career started prior to access to this fantastic technology. And I can tell you that in 2001, I was in an office selling telecom where we had one computer and everyone had yellow books on their desk. Yellow book.
Yep.
Daryl, Daryl, give me 5 minutes. I will know more about you than anyone else than you probably know. I'll find some stuff out about you, and then I can use that in my pitch. So salespeople, stop being lazy. It's quality over quantity. Instead of taking 50 people and connecting to 50 people and sending your bullshit blanket pitch, why not find 10 people and send them a quality outreach? Daryl, I see you do this. You're about this. I'm about this. Let's have coffee. Let's connect. You're down for a call.
Yep. And we had some comments real quick. Belinda actually said when you asked about the golf ball sale, she had so much business. So she must have made a ton of money and won't tell us how much, but so much business. And then Misha Berry said, keep it real.
What up, Misha?
I got to call her tomorrow, actually. I got a call scheduled with her. Conversion and money are the same. That's what puts dinner on the table. But I care first, real talk. And I know me, I've actually took an approach with sometimes to connect with somebody I know I want to work with. And they'll say, hey, Daryl, what do you do? Or are you better than anybody else? And I'll say, no, I'm not any better. It's just strategy. I'm not here to tell you I'm the cheapest, the lowest, or anything like that. But I have a better strategy that might work for you. And to me, it drives me crazy when my agents are saying, what's the email script, the phone script, the walk in the door script? And I candidly have to say it's the same script. The same thing I would say in person, I would say in a text message. I'd say in a DM. I'd say in an email. So do you kind of find that similar for you? Like your scripting is kind of the same on all platforms?
Help me out with that question. Let's back that up a little bit. Unpack that a little bit.
Yeah,
so something I want to.
Yeah, like the value of communicate. Like I have value in communicating in every message. So if I walk in the door, the meat of the conversation is pretty much the same. Like when I'm on a phone call, I might say, "Can you hear me? Okay." When I walk in the door, I won't say that. But after that, the messaging is pretty similar because I'm saying why I'm here. I know something about you I might be able to help you with. And I maintain that similar messaging for email. It's just in a different context. So would you say the psychology, let me say it that way, the psychology of your messaging is the same no matter what platform you're on?
So, yes, not just platform, the medium as well.
Yes, okay.
So whether it's, the reason why I wanted you to back up is because there's something that I didn't want to get missed that I thought that I heard you say, and maybe you kind of didn't say this, but it's something I think people can really benefit from that are in leadership. You know, I find that people have an aversion for scripts. When you hear the word script, script. And I do not. I believe in it wholeheartedly. Here's why. People need a playbook for success. And scripting is part of that. So when I prepare a script for a new seller or whatever, like they need that map of what success looks like, right? If you move to the city of Atlanta, where I am at, you're here in Duluth, and you need to get down to the Mercedes-Benz Stadium, you've never been here before. You need a map to get there, right? Yep. Now, once you've been here for 6 months and you understand, you may run into traffic on Peachtree Industrial. So, hey, I gotta hop off and get on Old Norcross. Oh, hold on, there's something going on Old Norcross. Okay, I need to go ahead and make this right here. I gotta make this turn here. You understand the end game of that. You have your start point and your end point, and you know how to get there. But before you really have the experience, you need to have scripts. Scripts are merely just playbooks for your success. Now you take those and you make them your own over time, but without a map, without a playbook for success, people will largely be unsuccessful because they don't know how to get there and they have to figure it out on their own, which costs the company money. It costs the leader maybe their job because they can't get their people successful fast enough. So not exactly what you were talking about. You said something in the scripting thing. I just felt like it would be really beneficial for sales leaders out there to hear and to know this. My perception, having been someone that is trained and continues to train, train hundreds of salespeople, and I hear that sort of thing more often than I would like, and I just want to change the narrative on that so people kind of understand the benefit of that and why it's important to their business to have a playbook for success for your salespeople, because we make a whole bunch of assumptions. Like, Daryl, you've been doing what you've been doing for how long now?
For insurance, about 7 years now.
7 years. And so you've learned so much over that course of time. So sometimes we bring people in to our environment and we want to give them the autonomy to be successful. Like, hey, look, I'm not going to script you. You just go out there and you make it happen. You're a good person. But they need that because they don't have what you have. They don't have that 7 years. All they see is use the example of success, right? Daryl's the example of success. So let me emulate Daryl. It doesn't work that way. You got to
Right.
start where Daryl was 7 years ago. In order to do that, us as sales leaders have to provide them a playbook for how to get there. We have to provide them a script for how to get there. And then they take that and make it their own.
Yeah, and I can definitely attest to 7 years ago, I was horrible. And I took it upon myself also. I think it's important for people to study their craft. Oh, your music got real loud.
Mm-hmm.
Study their craft, because scripting is like an actor. Every actor has a script. And I always tell people memorize, internalize, and personalize. So the beginning, memorize it, learn the script, know what it is. Then internalize it so you don't have to read it, but then personalize it. So
There you go.
that process for the instant messaging. I mean, I think some people get lazy, like you're saying, and they say, if I just connect with a bunch of people and send a bunch of messages, the money's going to come raining down on me.
Yeah.
But would you say the follow-up, because I think in DM messaging, follow is probably the most vital piece of it, which is part of any sales. But somebody asked, like, how do I let them know when they need something to follow up with them? So what are some tactics you can say that with social media has benefited you when using messaging and a platform in synchronicity to help close deals?
You say that question again. That initial question was that someone asked. Say it again.
So basically, like, they message them and they don't need anything right then. So what's kind of not even a drip campaign, but what's something they can do to kind of stay front of mind for these people they messaged and they said not right now? What's some way to use the platform and the messaging to kind of help them close a deal?
Yeah. So first thing, use your damn CRM. Okay.
Yeah. Yes.
All you guys got CRMs. Use them. If you don't have a CRM, go buy one. They're cheap. Go get Zoho or something where you can stay on top of it, because your human brain will let you down. That just is what you, and your handwritten notebooks will let you down. Go get CRM. Go get the tech to do it. Use your calendar. Use the technology to keep you on top of stuff like that, because the money is in the follow-up. There's no question about that. Funnel pipeline building, you have to be able to nurture your funnel. Remember that in sales, we are planting seeds, my friends.
Yep.
We're planting seeds. You drop a whole bunch of seeds in some dirt and go walk away from it, what's going to happen to those damn seeds?
Yep.
They nothing.
You just wasted your time.
You have to water them. You got to water them. So you got to set up your own cadence for follow-up, right? You got to set up a cadence for follow-up. I think it's good to make sure that the things that you do are as personal as possible.
Yep.
All right. So some of you are thinking like follow-up is like a newsletter. No, newsletter is not bad. It's just not as impactful. It's not as personal. Remember, what we're trying to do as salespeople is build relationships. We're in the relationship business. So you build those relational bonds. I will tell you that my first gig in corporate sales was with a company named McLeod USA. And what we did at McLeod is we did beat copying, is what we called that. Beat copying was, so we had our territory. We had our territory, and you would go and you would walk that territory every 3 months, right? So I go and I'd go over to the soccer store, and I'd knock on the door and go meet the manager. Hey, what's going on, buddy? I'm Ron now, work for McLeod USA. And he'd be like, okay, yeah, I don't need anything. Peace out. I'm like, okay, have a good one. And then 3 months later, hey man, what's going on? Just coming and saying, we're just checking in, man. How's business going? And oh, I don't need that. Okay, keep moving. 3 months later, I'm back. So there is so much value in that follow-up in terms of connecting and building relationships, because 6 months down the road, 9 months, maybe he needs me.
Yep. Uh-oh.
Sorry about that.
No, you're
He's willing
okay.
to listen to me now, right? Because we've kind of built this relationship. So in terms of cadence, it changes depending on what business that you're in. I would say that, I always like, if it's someone that didn't like blow you out, like I like a couple month cadence on just that basic 30% funnel, funnel opportunity, which is the one where they just were like, just don't need anything now, but thanks. Okay, cool. Nurture that. Go back at them in 2 months. Hey, what's going on? And use the tech. The one thing that I hope that people take from this conversation, if they take anything from me, is that let's just be smarter and be more intentional. Like, what's a better way that we can do that? Because what I see us doing the same sort of things that I was doing in 2001. So I told you about the beat copying, right? How can we do that better today? Here's how we can do it better. We've got access to all of this information. So instead of like, hey, 2 months later, I'm like, because I get this from people that actually do this part pretty well, but they're not doing it next level. So someone will reach out to me, then it's just not something that works for me right now. They'll reach back out in 2 months. Hey, has anything changed? Well, how about this, guys? Why not reach out? Why not have your outreach be something impactful to the relationship?
Yep.
All right. So next month you're sending me a text. Hey, Ronnell, I saw that video that you did. That was pretty cool. All right. Hey, by the way, need anything? You know I'm still here.
Yeah.
Hey, Ronnell, I saw that your kid did this. Hey, Ronnell, I saw that your company did this. Hey, Ronnell, let's make sure that the outreach that we're doing, we're trying to create a relational bond. My whole thing is just get smarter.
Yep.
That's it. We have so many tools, but we're doing old school dumb shit. The same old stuff without, really taking advantage of the tools that we have at our disposal. So my philosophy is we use the old school philosophy of relationship building, but we leverage the tech that we have at our disposal to do it better.
Absolutely. I mean, my career, like when I first started, cold calling was all I did. I moved here from Vegas.
Daryl, I lost your voice.
Oh, how about now? There we go.
I lost your voice.
Uh-oh. StreamYard. Hold on, guys.
Need to reset that button again.
Not sure. People in the comments.
You can hear me, right?
Yeah, I can hear you fine. Maybe it's just your phone. I'm not sure. Hold on. If anybody can hear me, throw.
You can hear me though, right?
Yep.
Give me a thumbs up. Yeah. Okay.
Technology.
Can I get cue cards? Like Ronnell, talk about this. You want to? Oh, can I see comments? Oh, you can chat me something.
Yep.
I don't know what happened that we lost the voice, but
1 second.
Okay. It's my show now. Ronnell Takeover. The Ronnell Takeover. Daryl's out. It's all about me. Now what I'm going to talk about.
How's that? Is that better?
There you go. You're back.
Technology. Yeah, but basically I started cold calling, and this is in 2013. So cold calling back then, it still gets a bad rep. Like, don't cold call. And I didn't know any better because I came from B2C. And B2C coming to me, I was in a retail environment, so I never had to go do outreach. So getting into B2B, cold calling was all I had. I didn't have any relationships. So some of these people watching this, they might not have a database of contacts. They might not be familiar with the area, but I do know cold calling still works. So what's your definition of cold calling in 2020 right now?
Cold calling is simple as cold outreach. You don't have a previous relationship. And my philosophy, my strategy in cold calling over the phone is no different than DM. It's all the same. It's all the same. Who are you? Who are you? What do you do? What's in it for me? Simple as that. What's in it for me? You got to have a value prop. Make sure that value prop is something. What I like to do when I'm building a campaign is I will take something that is kind of a wide-reaching sort of issue. Like if I'm targeting Daryl, I'm targeting the insurance guys. I will say something. I will figure out whether the top like 3 things are that my company or my business does for your business, right? And that last piece of what's in it for you will be 1, 2 of those things. Period. And a lot of times that second thing is always going to be related to driving revenue, right? To driving revenue, driving revenue or lowering cost. One of the 2. Okay. So, who am I? What do I do? And what's in it for you is going to be two value prop statements. Okay. Why is it that simple? And why do I keep it that simple? Because a lot of you guys get it twisted. You are out there trying to sell your widget on that call. Know this. Here's what a win is on that initial call. an appointment. Stop
Yep.
trying to sell your stuff on the first call. That's
Yep.
not what it's about. Because if you do, you're not going to win. Okay. The win on that initial prospecting call is I get your attention so we can sit down, and then I do proper discovery.
Yes.
And what discovery is, guys, is I sit down and I ask you great thought-provoking questions that you answer, and I shut the hell up. If my questions are good enough, it's an 80-20 mix.
Yep.
You're talking 80% of the time, and I'm talking 20. And
Yep.
I'm writing everything down.
Mhm.
I'm writing everything down. I'm asking the right questions. You're giving me, and if I'm asking the right questions, what you're going to do is you're going to give me the script for how to sell you. You're going to lay it all out for me. All
Yep.
right. But Daryl, here's the important part. Here's the important part, people. When in discovery, again, shut the hell up. Because when I'm asking these great questions to Daryl, I'm gonna say, Daryl, what do you think about this? And Daryl's gonna say, well, you know what, this is an issue, and blah blah blah. And Daryl's gonna say something that is a buying signal for me, right? It's a buying signal for he's gonna say, like, yeah, you know what? Well, I really have issue driving revenue and everything. And my inclination, your inclination, sellers, is going to be like, oh, okay, well, I can fix that. I got that. Yeah, I got you. Shut the hell up. Shut your damn mouth. Okay. Keep asking questions, because that's not it. That's not it. Keep talking. Keep asking the questions. Keep getting them talking. And then when you come back with the proposal that really wins and really kills, and you're not just focused on that one item that you thought was the most important. Because what you will find oftentimes is when you do good discovery, it's those secondary questions that you ask. So when I ask that question and Daryl says to me, yeah, I had this problem drive revenue, and then I ask a second question, well, what do you attribute that to? And then Daryl says something else. And then, now I'm really getting into it. And that may really be the trigger, not what I initially thought was the trigger. So my advice is keep on the first part of your prospecting call, keep your prospecting simple, to the point. Understand cold calling is a numbers game to a large extent. So I focus on those 3 items. Make sure that you've got a good basic value prop that gives you the largest chance of having an impact, right? Don't say too damn much. Don't try to sell on that first call. Remember, the win is the appointment. And then at the appointment, do proper discovery, which is shut the hell up, ask lots of great questions, let them talk, let them tell their story, let them cry on your shoulder a little bit, whatever it takes to get all that information, they will lay it out for you. That is how you do it properly.
But it's funny you mentioned the cry on your shoulder. I mean, because when you think about it, sometimes with these business owners who are doing B2B, the only 2 people they trust are usually their CPA and some kind of consultant or advisor. That's it. So most of their problems, I think we need to understand the sellers, they don't get to talk about with their employees, or their spouse might say, I don't care, just bring the check home. So how much has that changed for you, like the relationship building? I know for me, when I first came into insurance, I didn't get that piece. I didn't understand the relationship piece because I was cold calling. I said, I got something for you, and I delivered. But over time, I've noticed the relationship piece becoming more powerful. So did you come in kind of knowing that in the beginning, or did you have some stumbling blocks that taught you that?
Yeah, no, I absolutely didn't know that in the beginning. So in the beginning, like most new sellers, and part of it, sellers, it's not your fault, because your corporate training teaches you that. When you go to your corporate trainer says they start with you. That's what they start with. They start with you. Okay, hey, welcome to WWE Telecom. And okay, so this is what we do. Here's our products. This is what our customers value in our product. Do they really? Instead of the training should go back to, okay, look, here's all the stuff that we do, right? Okay, but it has to change to being about the customer. Okay, you really understand what matters to them, because it's different for every customer. You start there and you work your way back. So like most sellers out there, when I started my career, it was really transactional in that sense as well. It wasn't about building relationships. It was about hey, look, you got this. My thing's cheaper and better.
Yep.
Which can make you a lot of sales. But what it will not make you guys is a career.
Yep.
Because if they buy from you in those things, they will leave for those things as well.
Yep.
So which your challenge is, and what it is that you guys want to be as sellers, and what we all want to be is trusted advisors. We want to be a consultant to the customer. Here's when you know you've really done a great job. When that customer is asking you about stuff that has nothing to do with your product or widget.
Yes. Yeah. I was talking about social media today with somebody about how to get their more customers in their restaurant, which is nothing that I do. But they're just like, hey, my Google Maps is messed up. How do I fix that? Nothing that I do.
Yeah.
But they leaned in, and Simone asked the question, actually. She said, how do you transition from the answers they provided to setting an appointment without addressing the points to them?
Say what now?
That way, she says, how do you transition from the answers they provided to setting an appointment without addressing the points then? So I guess they tell you the issue, but you don't say it right then.
We didn't ask them for the issue on the prospecting call. The prospecting call, that initial prospecting call, we didn't. That's not. So maybe she's bringing discovery in part of it. Like the discovery should never be, if you can keep from doing, it should never be on that call, right? Yeah. Again, the win and the focus on that initial call is to get an appointment. And so even if they want to ask more questions, like at that point, I usually always coach my guys and teach my guys to push to the meeting. Say, hey, look, that's great. That's a fantastic question. So that's one of the things that we're gonna talk about. Really, before we kind of get into our solution, I really like to sit down and have a conversation about everything that's going on in your business, so that I make sure that one, it's a great fit for two, for one, and that we're a great fit for you, and that you're a great fit for us, and that our solution is really tailored. Because our solution, we tailor it special to every single person. So I want to make sure that whatever it is that we position for you, that it's tailored to your specific needs. So that's why we do the discovery meeting. But most buyers get it nowadays. Like that's just part of the process, like a discovery process. Like, yeah, you got to sit down and talk to me, understand what it is that I do. So going back to that, the initial prospecting piece. The prospecting piece is, again, guys, understand this as largely a numbers game. Okay. Now you increase your numbers by making sure that you have a good value prop that fits a larger segment of the population, right? Of your target population. That's how you increase it. But understand, when you call me, and this is something that sellers don't think about enough. When you call me, I don't want to talk to you. I don't know you. I'm doing stuff.
Yep.
Like, one of the things that has made me uniquely poised to give this sort of direction and advice for so long is that not only do I train sellers, my own sellers that have worked for my companies, but I'm the decision maker. I'm that guy.
Yep.
I receive the call. So that's put me in a position where I'm uniquely qualified to help my guys to understand even more that, hey, look, I'm your guy. Now get out of your seat and get in my seat and see what that sounds like on my side. Yep. So on my side, I'm busy. I don't want to sit through you trying to ask me a bunch of damn questions on the initial call. I want you to tell me, who are you? Well, who are you? What do you do? What's in it for me? Why should I care?
Yeah.
Simple as that. And if it's something that I care about, great, you get a meeting. If it isn't, keep it moving. You don't have to win every single person.
Yep.
Every person you talk to the call, you don't have to win them. Okay.
Yeah, I can appreciate a good pitch. I mean, I had the other day somebody cold called me, and I guess they found my name on some insurance directory, and basically said, "Hey, we work with agents to help them do X, Y, and Z. I realize I've seen you on LinkedIn doing what you're doing. Can I just send you some information for when you're less busy?" Said, "Sure. Is your email still this?" "Yep." "Okay, great. Sorry to bother you. I'll chat back with you in the future." And I was like, "Thank you for
man."
That was like a
man. So, my man, that is the best way. Understand, we spent the last 10, 15 minutes talking about the transactional method. So if you're doing the transactional method, do it the way that I said it. However, I am a big proponent of quality over quantity. Okay, especially if you're in complex sales. And if you're complex sales, you do it like that person did it with you. We're not focused on on 100 people that we want to outreach. We're focused on 15 people that we want to outreach to. And those 15 people, we make sure that we do something that forges a connection. And hey, guys, next level, those of you that watch my content know what I do. We're gonna do some next level stuff. How about making a damn video? How about making a video? How about a voicemail? Guys, and people have challenged me on this until I prove it to them. I've sent over 5,000 videos in the last couple of years. Mm-hmm. Yes. Yeah. I have the logs. Yeah. So like, that, if you guys take anything away from this conversation, the one thing I want you to take is be smarter.
Yep.
You can do so much more. Much more. Just use your brain, do a little bit more than the next person, and you'll be successful at this stuff. It's easier to prospect today than it's ever been. Like, you don't have to sit on the phone and just dial 150 people a day. You don't now, I think that's a good practice for people to do, to learn, to build a good skill set, right? Yep. And to get that fear out of them. But that's not the only way to prospect now. There's multiple ways. Use LinkedIn, use cold calling, but do it right. Do it better.
Absolutely. Yeah. When people always ask, what's the best marketing channel? And I say all of them. I mean, whatever's working, just do everything. And Lakeisha Brooks, she'll be a guest in the show in the future. She actually said he is spot on with that. Drive them to the appointment. Information gathering is important for discovery phase. Ask great open questions. I think it's a lost art because I think we watch these sales movies and we think you're supposed to be slick and just have some great line and just push people. But I've definitely had a lot more success personally from asking questions. So before we get people out of here, what's like one habit or something they can work on to kind of help them? And let's just forget DMs for a minute, but to help their sales outreach to convert more. What's one thing you think they can do to convert more appointments?
Yo, Daryl, I gave him like 36.
Let's just pick one because with ADHD, people forgot the 35 of them. But just think about one. I mean, you've been training people. I've been training. I'll give one myself. I think consistency is a lost art and it's like a superpower. So for me, I think it's consistently doing it every day, just some kind of outreach. That's my one thing. But for you, what do you think is the one thing?
So I 100% agree with that. Yes. And that applies to everything. that's business, like business 101, like consistency and discipline. Now, so what I would add to yours is impact. Impact. Okay. Do something that makes impact.
Yep.
Right. So I'll give a brief example of something this is what I've done my whole career. Brief example. Shout out to Greg Ginsky, my homeboy. I interviewed with Greg Ginsky nearly 20 years ago for a job at AT&T.
Okay.
I showed up to that interview with my portfolio of my sales success. I sat down. I said, look here, dude. Start flipping the pages. I did this. Here's my sales rankings. Here's this. All of these things, right? I made impact. He talks about that to this day. to people all the time. Like he is. So that's the most impactful, best interview he's ever had. Right. So my advice is make impact. Leave a mark. How do you do that? I'm challenging you guys to think about that in your prospecting, in your discovery meetings. It's not as hard as you think it is. When's the last time you brought donuts to a prospect? When's the last time you showed up and just said, hey, what's up? How are things going? Here's something. Enjoy. See ya. When's the last time you sent a video message? When's the last time you sent a text out of the blue that didn't concern your business? When's the last time you said something to one of your prospects about their kids? It wasn't when you had something to gain. That's what I'm saying. Like, be better, make impact. If you make impact, you will get customers. Not just those people, but the people next to those people. See, what I'm about, and those of you that know me well, know I'm about, and I'm sharing it with your people, Daryl, I'm about this. I'm about the W. I'm about the woo.
Wu-Tang
I build advocates. I want advocates because advocates, I don't want fans.
Yep.
I don't want fans. I don't care about fans. I don't want to be a celebrity. I want to continue to be a successful businessman. I build advocates. You build advocates by doing these things that make impact and bringing value. And those advocates will not only do business for you, they will sell for you, and they will help you to have a long-term successful career.
Yep. Well, awesome. Well, I want to lead the people now. We're plugging LinkedIn Meetup ATL. As far as now, the coronavirus has not shut us down. It's something that you and I met at. It's a great event. I think everybody should go there. That's what made this whole thing happen. So everybody follow hashtag Sales Chump. Definitely
hashtag Ronnell Richards, RONNELL Richards, RICHARDS, Business and Bourbon, hashtag Business and Bourbon. Check out the Business and Bourbon podcast. Check out the Day Drinking podcast. Top ranked podcast. Like, we're not just BSing where you say like, hey, I'm a best-selling author. No, like no, where everyone's a best-selling author. No, we actually cracked the top 100 with Business and Bourbon, which was pretty cool. We did that. So hey, a lot of people dig it. We got a lot of great reviews. It's a lot of fun. It's about real stuff, and everyone says that. But nobody does it like I do it, baby.
You're right. When's the Atlanta one? You said there's one coming up in Atlanta. When is that?
So, well, let me go ahead and call up the CDC real quick and see with this damn coronavirus stuff that's messing up all of my business right now. So we are planning the Atlanta. Honestly, the Atlanta was supposed to be next month. I don't know if that is going, because we are doing it in coordination with a couple of other locations that we're travel events as well. Stay peeled, guys. Keep your eyes on it. Keep watching for them. I will make the announcement, but I want to do next month, and damn it, wear your mask. I don't care.
Hey, look, the way I feel about it, I'm going anyway, so don't worry about it. So thank you guys for joining us. Catch the replay if you couldn't be on Team Live. And we'll catch you next time. Business of Benefits.